sheet is lost in action.
There hasn't been one there for a little bit. We'll just pass it around.
I do it, or what's his name does it, but if you want to do it, they don't want to hear the same thing.
Get in here. This one is cake.
Sorry. Yeah, how you doing?
Cheryl, somebody must have picked that other one up last week.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe they don't want us to call.
I still get to talk.
Conspiracy theory or no? How you doing?
Again,
Signing that, we pass along.
Yeah, we'll get you one.
How you doing there, sir? Rich Clemens here, talk for a little
side street or something.
Sure. No.
By state law.
Chris, how many minutes do it you like for prayer?
I don't know if I live in Oregon.
I asked her.
They don't know.
I'll be some boy set. I'm gonna stay out.
Primary roads, they do, but our local roads, they do not. And this takes care of all the pavers. Last 3 miles. All for the cost of one tire. So I don't start.
That's a pretty big time.
We're gonna start with prayer right before the meeting, please.
Everyone would like to join us. Welcome. Heavenly Father, as we come to you tonight, Lord, we thank you for the opportunity to work together in community. We thank you for putting us in this place at this time. We thank you for the people that you've surrounded us with as neighbors. We thank you for just the way that you've given us such a sense of community and a respect for each other, that we're thanking you in advance for how things are going to go in this meeting tonight. We're asking for your wisdom, your strength, and your guidance, that your words may be on your lips and your thoughts be on our minds. And it's this we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
actually mine. So if we have another one, then. Thank you.
It's a nice pen, I might like it.
Thank you. It's an old one, actually.
Yeah, my luck, I take it, just run out, right?
Exactly.
Average house in Seattle, $300,000
Yeah, I've seen them that high. Yeah. Probably for farmers. Oh, yeah, that's right.
You smile, wave.
Never done
Okay, everybody, at 6 o'clock, we're going to call the meeting to order. Stand for the pledge, please.
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, welcome, everybody.
Osip. Here. Clemens.
Here.
Place. Here. Barber.
Here.
VanBelle.
Here.
Me. Lori.
Okay. All right, we'll move on to approve the agenda. We don't have no additions, deletions, or corrections. So we're gonna introduce the guests.
Then you gotta make the motion.
Oh, make a motion to approve it, I'm sorry. Need a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Support.
Clemens.
Yes.
VanBelle.
Yes.
Barber.
Yes.
Place.
Yes.
Osip.
Yes.
Okay, we'll move on to introduction of guests. Mohammed, where are you at? I'm here. Mohammed is from Lisa McLean's office. Mohammed, will you take the floor?
Thank you. Mohammed Smitty, District Director for Congresswoman McLean. For those of you who don't know, and I'm going to kind of look back and forth, so I want to talk to everybody. Our office is in Lake Orion, downtown, just down 24 in the village. Anytime anybody needs any help with a federal agency, whether it's casework help, last minute passport, you never know when you're going to need it, please reach out. Our office is always happy to help. Part of why I'm here today is to talk about, I know we've met a few times talking about the community project funding, which is an annual program that members of Congress host in every community where members can select up to 20 projects this year for different projects in their community. So this past year, fiscal year 27, we've selected, they have not been appropriated yet, but a project like the Marathon Road project through the Road Commission was one of our projects that we selected. And that's bringing our federal tax monies back home for projects that are important to us. So, we've done fire stations in the past. Any federally qualifying project, so water and sewer, hard infrastructure projects, those are ones that we want to bring our tax money back to our communities where we can physically touch and see it and benefit from it. So one of the things that I know we've talked about is about the roads and stuff here in Oregon Township. Just wanted to walk through the process for those of you who don't know how our process works. There are eligibility requirements, and I know we've discussed this at length, but our process typically runs from November till about the March time. That includes me actually sending out the guidance for communities to follow. Last year we had our most submissions from across our district because we have 7 counties that are in our district, hearts and wholes of some counties in our district. And we get a wide variety of projects, whether again it's for the water and sewer infrastructure projects, community facilities, public safety facilities and that sort of thing, roads. we've done the Silverwood Road project here in Lapeer County. We worked really closely with the Road Commission to help secure federal funding for that, which is a really big deal, but we just want to be a good partner with our communities. Now, I want to close with a couple stipulations, right? That is that if a project or if a community submits for a project, again, we can only pick 20, and we look at a lot of different things when we're going through the selection, whether it's the eligibility, making sure that they're qualifying projects. Obviously, if a community has applied for the same project before, assessing community need, because remembering if we select a project in one community, we'd also be taking away that project from another community. Not that it's not as equally deserving or the project is better, that's just how the process works. We can only submit for a certain number. So if there's any questions from the board, I know that, I've went out and seen the roads, which I appreciated the opportunity to do that. And I know we'll be communicating further about, once we go through the submission process. But at the end of the day, we want to help our communities, even though it's not guaranteed funding, we want to give our communities that opportunity to do that. So that's why I'm here today to talk about, what our community project funding is. And, I would, hope that, the community considers applying for it this year. With that, if there's any questions, yeah, absolutely.
Is there a way to get the funding if this doesn't go on the ballot?
Correct.
How do we do that?
Again, there's some eligibility that goes along with it. So regardless if it's included on the ballot, we're not here to, advocate one way or another. I just look at what's in my lane, and that lane is, does it meet eligibility requirements? Some line items in the budget, and all the guidance is posted online at appropriations.house.gov. I'll be sure to send the material and stuff. Communities can look at what are the eligibility. If we submit it under the USDA's budget, they require a 25% matching funds for certain projects, but some line items don't. There's a lot of those nuances. There's no requirement that, this community must have a road millage for it to pass. That's why I'm purely here to talk about our office's community project funding, program, and that's what I'm here for.
Anybody else got any questions?
I must have done a great job then, right? Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. I know I'll be here to answer any questions afterwards too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. Okay, we're gonna move on to, oh, I'm sorry, JT. This is our new officer. I'll let you introduce yourself there.
Hello everyone, I'm Deputy Bishop with Lapeer County Sheriff's Department. I just recently got the opportunity to be in Oregon Township starting July 1st. Deputy Keller was before me. He was promoted to sergeant, so that's why there's a new opening. I appreciate the opportunity to come to Oregon. Don't hesitate to reach out. I'm here to help you guys. Last month, just for some of the stats, we had 131 total incidents. Deputy Keller handled about 44. He was gone for about a week or so on vacation, so that's why there's a little bit overlap. Again, I appreciate it, and thank you for allowing me to work in Oregon.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna move on to public comment. We have a full house tonight, so we're gonna keep the comments to 3 minutes. And I just ask everybody, please be civil. We're just here for discussion. We don't wanna have no uproars or nothing. So with that being said, do we have any? Yeah, we have 2 public comments. This is only what's on the agenda. There will be a second public comment later on. So do we have any public comment on the agenda? Cheryl, you're first.
Okay, I want to talk about the road millage that was planning on putting through. I have quite a few concerns, one of them being that a couple of the people running for governor right now want to do away with property taxes. For some people, not all of them. So how are you going to use the full faith and credit of Oregon Township if something like that happens and it is approved to go? You'll bankrupt the township if that was the case. I have a concern about that. The other concern is, why would I wanna pay $300? I live on a gravel road, I do all county primary roads, so this is not benefiting me at all to do this. So I am totally against this road village proposal. And I don't think a bond is the way to go anyways. We've done road projects in the past. You can figure out a way to do it without putting us in debt for the next 15 years. Thank you.
Okay, I'm just gonna add one thing tonight. So we have two things that's gonna be hot subjects. It's gonna be the villages, one, and the first responders in Marathon Township. This to be clarified on the millage, this is whether the board's gonna approve it to put it on the ballot is where we're at tonight. All your comments are good. I mean, it's not, that's what we're here for, this, whether it's gonna go to the next level. So, just so everybody understands that. Back, you can be back.
Sure. You know, I admire your vision to get our roads straightened out, but we already pay a county tax. And we were hoping with your tenacity that you would get the county to listen to us and use the money that we're already spending on taxes to fix roads and maybe augment it. But I'll be honest with you, I'm 81 years old. And I've been a project manager for at least 40 years. I had my own business. I've been all over the world. I know about contractors. I know about expenses and how to handle it. Somebody's got to oversee it. But here's the point. I'm 81 years old. I've already kind of maxed out my savings. All I'm in Social Security. And every time they give us an increase in Social Security, take it back for the cost. Okay, so I cannot afford this. This is totally ridiculous. We're one of the highest paying taxpayers in this county, and maybe the state of Michigan when you add this all together. I built a small house, beautiful house. It's only 1,800 square feet, and it came from a much larger house. Got all my equity tied up in it. I was expected to live in a township that has very little asset, very little services, so it shouldn't cost that much to stay here. All of a sudden, and I've done my homework, and I know what it's going to cost. And for my house alone, it's going to be nearly $1,000 more a year. And already we've had major tax increases due to our famous governor. We added a 5%, and then a 2%, and a 1%. I'm on the tax board. So what I'm getting at is this cost is way over us. Okay, too great for us. But I would like the same effort put into, let's work with the county and get that county out here and do something. They haven't done anything. Oregon Road, you and I talked about it. It hasn't had anything done to it since 1960. But I can still make my way around the bumps and go get a loaf of bread. But that's all I've got to say.
Okay. Hey, Terry, I forgot to introduce you. Terry Jostock from the Lapeer Road Commission. You want to, Terry, you got anything to say there as a guest for them?
Well, you know, at least I think you guys are doing it the right way. You guys are trying to put it on a local millage so the money will stay in this township if it goes in there. Because I was really against the one the road commission did. I think it was in 22. We put it on the ballot. Didn't put a lot of effort to it neither. Nobody did. And it almost passed. So I just think you guys are kind of put it out to people and let them vote it down. Would be all I would think. And I'm a landowner in Oregon Township too. And again, I would think the same way on that part. And the cost of the paving every year just keeps going up and up and up. I mean, if we were to repave these roads 5 years ago, we'd been a lot better. Now it's $500,000 for a mile of road if you got to reconstruct it, and about $300 if you just cap it. Most roads are beyond capping now, so but, yeah. And like I said, we've been working with Lisa McLean's office. We got a lot of stuff done with grants and stuff, but there just ain't enough money at the road commission level neither to do it all. I mean, trucks now are almost $500,000 outfit a truck, you know, salt truck, and just inflation's just and it ain't gonna stop, I don't think. Every year I see increase, so but I think you should at least put it on a ballot rather than somebody ever a board do it.
Okay, thanks, Gary. Steve, you had your hand up, go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Steve Sears. I live at 2033 Gray Road. I've been a resident here, Oregon Township, for 20 years. I'll speak again because I'm also the head of the Planning Commission. Our master plan tells us the way we should fund our roads through a local millage. But I'm here as a citizen to say our roads are horrible. We talk about police and fire. Well, they can't get down our roads. They're horrible. It's an embarrassment. I have property in Huron County. The roads are very good. I go to Oakland County all the time. You cross the line, the roads are very good. What's our problem? Our problem is we have to pay for our own roads. It's the way it's set up. No one is coming to save us. If we want roads that are decent and usable and not going to destroy our vehicles, not be unsafe. We had someone get hurt on Reamer Road this year, seriously hurt because of the road. We have to fix them ourselves. The cheapest way is to use the dollars for today, $2026. We can use $2026 and pay it off over 15 years. In 15 years, what is it going to cost us? Out of our range. People are saying it's out of our range now. It's never going to get closer. We all know that. So do we go back to dirt roads like Reamer Road? Do we just grind them up and turn them into dirt roads? Or do we make our roads the way a good community would? We'll have good roads. It'll increase our property values. Everyone will be safer.
Thank you, Steve.
What about Harvey roads?
Go ahead, sir, I don't. Okay. Yeah, go ahead, sir. It's gonna take us a while. Bear with us, everybody will get a chance.
My name is Doug Farrell. I live at 3036 Flint River Road. Just wanted to talk about the millage for he was saying the millage almost passed countywide. I think it should be a county millage. It's a whole community millage, and that way it solves the problem in the whole community. If you do it just in each one township, I'm a realtor, that's gonna lower your property value in this township. Guaranteed, the numbers don't lie here. When you start figuring everything out, we had 59 homes sell in the last 365 days from today in Oregon Township. The average was $318,000 home. Now that average, so we'll just take the middle average, that's gonna be $52 more per month that the person buying that house in this township can afford, as opposed to the next township down the road. So you go to Marathon Township, I'm gonna have to tell my clients, yeah, your budget, say they get pre-approved for that magic number, $318,000. Well, we can shop for that everywhere except for Oregon Township. We got to lower it down $52 a month because you can only afford that much. So that's going to lower your property value instantly by that much. So if you put it on the whole county, it does solve the road problems, which almost passed already. It doesn't burden just us, and it helps the whole community out. So putting it on just Oregon Township, I think, is a bad move. We need to spread it on and just put it on the county ballot. I think that's better. Let the county decide, but it doesn't even need to be on our ballot. That's going to just kill our property values for sure. Anybody got any questions for me? Yeah.
I think that's.
Wait, Doug?
Yes.
We're not
Nobody
here.
can have that question?
No.
Okay.
So
Sorry.
if anybody has questions, I'll make a list and we'll do the best. But we have a lot of people to talk.
I'll stay after. They can ask me questions after.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, sir, in the back. Go ahead.
Yeah, how you doing? My name is TJ Staff. I'm owner of Group Fencing. I'm not more. Not that I'm for any of my property taxes or everything going up. I think that as a community, it needs to be our choice, and unfortunately, not just your guys's. Whether we're for it or against it, I do think all of us can agree our roads are very bad. But at the end of the day, it's we the people. It's not just you guys up there. So I think at least it needs to be on the ballot, whether it passes or not. That's up to us, and we make that decision. But we need to come at this as a unit, all together. And I don't think that it shouldn't be our choice. Again, everybody's got different viewpoints. I mean, obviously, he's been a resident for a long time. I wouldn't want my stuff going up. But I also know, for me, being 28 years old, they're not getting any better. And I do think something needs to be done with it. just think it should be our choice. So I'm not saying again, I don't want to pay a bunch more. I'm gonna be here for a long time. I'm not going anywhere. We got a beautiful farm down the road. I'm not affected on my gravel road, but at the end of the day, it should be all of our choice to have an opinion, not just you guys up there. Thank you.
Well said. Well said. Okay, go ahead, Wes.
My name's Wes Simpson. I'm the vice chairperson for the planning commission here. And one thing that you did point out back here, it is we the people. Frankly, we're all kind of in between a rock and a hard spot here. And for just a handful of people to make that decision, it's not the way to go. It should be the people here, the people of the township, the people. And as a matter of fact, it's my understanding, if we take it to the county, what does that do for our township roads? Do they still do that? No, they just do the county roads. Am I correct?
Well, it could go to both.
It could go to both?
But one thing about individual townships, you keep that.
I'm sorry, I just did what you told me not to do.
Wes, you're okay because you're asking the road commissioner there, so you're fine to ask that question.
Okay, all right. But anyhow, I'm just here to say that I'm
sharing this. Go ahead, Wes.
I'm on both sides of the fence here.
Right.
Because I don't want my taxes to go up extremely. I'm willing to pay some, but not an extreme amount. That's ludicrous. But again, I think it's up to the people to decide this.
Okay, thank you, Wes. Go ahead, sir, on the end.
Hello, my name is Bob Milne. I live on Stanley Road. First of all, what you said was exactly right about the county. If we were the only people using these roads, then we would be obviously responsible for our own roads. But everybody in the county and total strangers goes through this place. And I know that some of the roads say no trucks allowed, but there's trucks on them anyways. So at any rate, the idea of passing this on to the county makes far more sense than just a bunch of us who live here. Now, gentleman over here, I don't see him right away, mentioned that he was 80 years old. I'm 84. My career was spent I was self-employed. I went all over I'm a retired professional pianist. We went all over the world, and when we came back from that, we had no retirement fund from anybody. We had to create our own. And so we've got savings. And of course, we all know what happened to inflation over the last few years, and our savings are doing this. And now for the thought of us paying for these roads that everybody in creation is going to be driving over, this doesn't make any sense to us. Our taxes would go up at our place, we know that. And basically, we don't think we can afford it. We've lived here since '79, and we've watched the general increase. And at any rate, I think it's a bad idea for the things I just said and what others have said as well. Thank you for listening.
Okay, go ahead. It looks like Mike. Yep.
Yeah. I haven't seen what roads or any kind of input to what is going to be affected by this.
On the table there, Mike, just I didn't want to cut you off. There is the bid packet from the Lapeer County Road. It tells you every road and what it's going to cost.
Well, because I don't know if Tome Road happens to be on there at all.
It would not be.
And you used to grade that road, and you know the growth coming in on that road. Plus, for over 5 years now, on the hill on Tome Road, has been impassable by 2 cars. There's an erosion point because the grading that's been done has left the sod curbing. All the erosion coming down the hill with the water runoff has totally destroyed a half a lane of road. And it's been that way for 5 years. Never filled, never nothing, just kind of a half-assed, knock-in and never fixed. And the tree growth coming in, I have an RV. I can barely get down my road. I've already had to replace my roof once because of the tree growth encroaching on the road. And I had complained in the past about it about 5-6 years ago and before when they did the water treatment plant. A lot of these roads have been destroyed by that water treatment project from pounding them gravel trains day after day after day and never got fixed. Stanley Road, it got crushed by that water treatment project and nothing ever got done with it. Well, we didn't dig there, so we're not fixing it. Marathon Road got crushed. My Tone Road got destroyed with the mud and everything else running through it when they did it across Stanley Road. You know, a lot of these roads were destroyed from that water treatment project, and this sod curbing that gets left holding the road to erode down all water instead of rolling off into the ditches. And like you say, my road's not on that project. But you're wanting me over the 15 years to pay almost $9,000 in taxes, and my road won't be affected, so I've got a mess to deal with for the next 15 years that won't even affect my road. I'm not asking for pavement. I'm just asking for it to be brought back to a road. You know? Thank you.
Yep. Anybody else? Go ahead, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Lori Hollis with the Marathon Area Fire Board. I just wanted to let all of the board members know that I'm here, as well as Allison Smith, who's also on the board. We have Chief Aaron Baker here, who's been on our fire department for 50 years, and Chief Kim for First Responders is here. If anybody has any questions tonight, we're here, and if any residents has questions after the meeting, we'd be happy to talk with you as well. Thank you. Oh, and a side note on the roads, there was supposed to be a lawsuit going on with the people who did the road construction during that Tarragone water. You might check into that to see if there's any money available from that.
I will. Thank you for that. Go ahead, John.
John Van Wagner, I live on Millville Road. You know, I'm really pleased to see everybody here tonight. I've been personally spending a lot of time in the last 6 years trying to recruit people to get involved locally into, I'm going to use that nasty word, politics. But everybody seems to throw around a word like that without any reference as to what it really means. If you put it in its simplest form, politics is a process by which a community decides to live together and how it's going to live together. In seeing how many people are here tonight, I would really love to see this thing get put on the ballot so that we can have more community engagement. The conversations that have been here, one side or the other, have been really good, have been really thoughtful, and we need to let that proceed. So it would be my encouragement to all of you, let's get it on the ballot. And on top of that, once we do that, let's engage here and another couple times and talk about it more and let the process take care of itself so community can happen.
Thank you, John. Go ahead, Ken.
Ken Kopnick. I've lived here since 1971. I was around when we did a bond to fix Peters Road, Clam, and a few others. And we're going to redo it again. Now, Mr. Clemens has sat in meetings and said that the roads are this way because the road commission lets corners be cut. We paid to fix Oregon at the tubes from between Gray, right there at Gray Road. And it's fallen apart again already. And what I was told was the road commission let it be done with 3 inches of cap on the road rather than 4. We can do this, and you guys can pay for it over the next 15 years and read the disclaimer at the bottom of the calculation chart of what it's going to cost you. That's what it's going to cost you unless there is a change in your property taxes. You know they ain't going to go down. Now, if we do this again, are we going to get the same people signing off on stuff and get the same crap roads that are falling apart now that we've already paid for? And keep in mind, when we did the last bond, it almost broke this township, the payout on the bond. There was juggling going around, transfer excess money from here to here to pay the bond every month. It almost killed this township. Now, everything's got to go through the road commission. Everything's going to be inspected by the road commission. If they're letting contractors that are bidding this stuff out cut corners, we're going to have to do it again in another 10 years to repair what we're paying for now over 15 years. It's all going to fall apart again.
Plus inflation.
It's because maintenance is not being done on the roads as it's required.
Thank you, Jake.
They wait till it falls apart.
Any more public comment? Sir, go ahead. I see your hand first, and I'll get to everybody. Just bear with me.
All right. My name's Dan Hill. I live in Shady Oak Drive on the King Lake. I've been here all my life. I'm 70. And we've been promised all through the years, do this, we're going to improve our roads, we need this to improve our roads. They don't get better. Where I see, they don't get better. And we put out the money. It's like, okay, the lottery system. That money is supposed to go to the roads. The gas tax is supposed to go on the roads. We just passed this dispensaries that sell marijuana stuff. That's supposed to go to the roads. We don't get that. Where's that money at? There's a lot of money we're supposed to be getting. The county is supposed to get to fix our road. I don't want to see this get on the ballot. This is, like I said, it's we the people here, and we're here for that concern. Where's that money? I know it ain't the road commission's fault. I know it ain't the road commission's fault. They got to get the money to fix the roads. We got you guys. That's your job to get that money. Get our governor, which is, I'm not going to say nothing, but she's, we need to get her to put fuel in her bolts and fix our roads, okay? That's all I'm sure I have.
Sir, in the back, yeah, I see you next.
Yeah, my name is Frank. I live on Peters Road. I do believe we talked the other day, sir.
Yep.
I've been in the roads for 15 years. These roads are at the end of their service life. When was the last time they were done?
Some of them have been a long time.
I mean, an asphalt road's 20, 25 years. Where's the money that should have been put aside and saved to do the roads? You know, kick the can down the road, the can's gonna kick you in the ass, right? You said that there needs to be undercuts done on some of these roads. They knew that 15, 20 years ago that those undercuts needed to be made. Why did that get signed off on by the inspectors? You know, I mean, that clay and that water was there 15, 20 years ago, 25 years ago. You know, who should be responsible for that? Because it's going to be nothing but change order and change order and change order once they open that road right up. And you start digging that clay out, you don't know how deep it is. I don't know how deep it is. I own a trucking company. I know how much it costs to haul the shit out. And it's expensive, you know. So, I mean, where was the savings? You know, through the county, through the local. I've only been here a few years. I love it here. But the roads are appalling. And I come out of northern Oakland County where they're absolute shit too. So, I mean, they're at the end of their life. There should be money saved to do this. It should have been put away somewhere. So is it the previous administration? Where there needs to be a plan for in another 25 years. Because I don't plan on going anywhere either. So as we fix it now, we need to think about fixing it down the road, and it's gonna happen.
Thank you. Go ahead, Ken.
I'm gonna sit in the chair, I ain't getting
No,
up.
you're fine. Stand up, Ken.
There's a lot that's involved in the whole thing. Number one, your country berms on the road. We've heard talk, you're gonna do this, gonna do that. County has a disc set up to cut that and put it back in the road, but they only go halfway. They only get half the damn curb. It doesn't do any good. Typical example right now, I used to walk out to my mailbox and get my mail. Now I'm on a scooter. I can't walk. I take a chance, even going out to get the mail, because there's a berm in front of the mailbox now that can actually tip me over. And if it isn't the berm, it's the damn water puddle in front, and them things don't go through mud. And then you're wanting us to pay a lot of money like this, and my road is not going to get touched. Screw you, I'm not going to pay anybody that's not going to, it's got to affect everybody. If it's a blanket village, you're going to fix every damn road in it or none. Gray Road was done early in the 60s when I first come to town. It's never been touched, never been recapped. It's been patched lately because it's still in the pot. But you take a road, the service we've been getting is not what you've been paying for to begin with. They blacktop. Well, I used to drive school bus. German Road was a gravel road. Then they paved it. And that's worse now than Oregon ever was. The state says it's an unsafe road. Why not spend some of your lawyer money that you're using to dream up this stuff and grind the damn thing up and make it a passable gravel road? At least people with an ambulance and a fire truck could get down it. They done it with Rimmer Road. Sure, people don't like the dust, but these potholes are getting so bad that when it rains, I get a fishing pole and go fishing. And I think a lot of the ones that's dreaming this stuff up, and I'm not going to be specific, but I think a whole bunch of them are actually sitting on their brain in the conversation.
Go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead, ma'am.
I'm gonna sit down too because I'm kind of nervous, but.
No, you're okay.
Linda Lewis, I live at 5071 Mount Morris Road. I've lived here for 54 years. And like you, complaining about the roads. Okay, so I decided this is just gonna add to what you've got, but I might also tell a little bit about what's going on behind the scenes. In February, I had it, so I went to the Lapeer County Road Commission website and wrote a little email, and kind of what I said was, German Road between Mount Morris and Stanley Road is terrible condition, everything you guys have said. And they've been patching it for years, and now it's just impassable. So one of my gripes was, and my pet peeve is, the workers that when they come and do patch it, they put a shovel full of asphalt in there, and then they drive away. And they leave the cars to do this, to run over it and flip it off and into the ditch and whatever. And so it's a big waste. So I'm asking him, I sent it to whoever, and then I asked specifically, what is the status of paving German Road, and is it on the schedule? So I was surprised that I actually got a phone call about a week later to go over this, and it was Gabe Foro on the Road Commission. He answered my questions that I listed, and he said German Road is in such bad condition, it will need a full repave. The estimate cost of 1 mile of the road is $1 million, and we don't have the money. Not on the list to repave for 2026, but on the bubble for 27. There are no plans to repave Marathon Road. He knows what bad shape it's in. There's lots of other roads in the county that's the same way, and they couldn't afford it, and they will just patch it. And he said, and Mrs. Lewis, you're not going to like this. He said, in 2026, Stanley Road from German to the county line is going to be repaved because they did it wrong, and they had to take the paving company to court, and they won their case, and they're going to repave Stanley to the county line on top of that asphalt. I don't know what they're going to do, go over and top it or whatever, because they did it wrong. Then he addressed my complaints about the way the potholes are filled, and the reason he gave was for the workers' safety. Cars run into the back of the trucks and risk the workers getting hit. He is not gonna change the way that they do that. And I could sit there for 5 minutes and figure out a way that they can still protect the workers and do a good job. And he actually admitted to me that that's a waste of money. It ends up not there.
Thanks.
So, okay.
Anybody, go ahead, sir.
Yes, my name is Lapeer, and I live on McKean Lake Road. And I've got a few questions that haven't been answered here, or I haven't heard of yet. But one of the things, the people that came here for the fire project, I just want to say that the example what these people are talking about is millage. If you have a $300,000 home evaluation, you're going to be paying, according to this, $15,000 or $17,000. That's why people are here, is because they think this is an awful lot of money for what's going to happen here if it goes and passes. All right, so just to let everybody know what's going on with the millage on the roads, it gives you a ballpark figure. So we had a governor that ran on a ballot, to fix these blank roads. I heard this several times on the TV commercials.
State road.
Yes, I know, it's state roads, but roads is always a problem. My question I also have is, here we are being asked possibly to pay more money tax-wise. Are we guaranteed that we're gonna have better service than the township next door? Will our roads get 100% of all of our money plus what the county would have paid anyway, to where we have a benefit from that? Or is it just all going to a pool and get dispensed around to all the different townships anyway? So that's another thing we have to work out somehow or other. Will we have a better road system by passing this money than the people next, like I said, the township? And will it be better maintained? You know, it's not. I don't guess it's just maintain the roads. It's other services too. Snow plowing, I guess, is all that. This is the first time I've been to a meeting, so I'm just trying to inform you things that I had questions about, and I wanted to know what's going on with all this, because they're talking about quite a big chunk of money that I'm gonna have to pay. And the evaluation of my property, as Mr. Douglas here pointed out, when you go to sell your property, they look at your tax value. I talked to a guy yesterday, he said, boy, as soon as I sold my property, or as soon as I bought my property, a new young man, he said, my payments were extremely high because my taxes jumped. And that's a factor. That's a factor in selling your property. Okay, that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I live on Shamrock Drive, and my question to you guys is anybody asking for a grant to try and fix some of these roads instead of it all being put on the taxpayers? Like this gentleman said about the marijuana, and it's just tax after tax after tax. You see nothing. You guys need to think about your kids and your grandkids. These people can't afford to live. You can't keep this up. This is ridiculous. I mean, the huge gas tax that just went up. I thought we would see trucks out here, roads being paved. There's nothing. It's sad. It is really sad. I worry about my grandkids. I mean, what kind of future do they have? Are they going to even be able to afford a house? If they can afford the house, are they going to be able to pay the taxes? Probably not. I mean, I know from when I built 4 years ago, my taxes went up $1,200 in 1 year. Look, we got nothing. We paid for the electric to come in. You can't even get a phone line in there. No gas, no nothing. Not a street light, nothing. It's sad that the amount of money that's being paid out, but I think the township needs to check into some grants. I mean, I understand you can only do what you can do, but you know, we as a group, instead of just adding another tax on, that we start pushing these higher up elected officials. And I have to say, our representative for Lapeer County, I'm not seeing a whole lot. I haven't seen a whole lot going on that the people are being represented. So, but I would appreciate if somebody would even just look at a grant. If we got one road fixed, we made progress. But we need to think about our kids and our grandkids. That's all I got to say.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
It seems like we're all here mostly about the roads and then how much it's gonna increase our tax on our property.
Can you come up here? Can you come up here, Randy?
Yeah, hardly hear you, Randy.
And this obviously my first
So
time.
loud.
My wife and I have lived in this area for 42 years. This was our first home. So we're lucky enough to watch communities turn over and watch how the communities turn over in our area. Watch the young families come in. I've got a young family right next door to me in kitty corner from me now. I live on Indian Road, and they've got kids, and it's great to see bicycles going up and down the roads. But what's not fun to see is the young boys that go down the road with a fishing pole over their shoulder like they did 20 years ago, and they're watching those cars that are coming at them. That they're swerving around our potholes. They're trying to avoid from hitting anything, the kids and everything. And I watched a dump trailer the other day swerve like this because he left the side of the road, get off it, and you almost took out an older couple in a white Equinox. If you're here tonight, God bless you, because you almost got completely wiped out. Here's what I think. I think we all know that if we do the roads and we do the right thing, it'll beautify our community. It'll be a nice, appealing, real estate-wise. I worked in Detroit, Southfield, for 13 years last year. If you want expensive taxes, go to Southfield. Go to Brighton, go to Royal Oak, you'll see property taxes you don't want to see. I enjoy living in the country. That's why I drove 2.5 hours to work, back and forth each day. I enjoyed this community. Here's what I don't hear tonight is a solution. One of the solutions I hear that I did this morning was I filled up my wife's car. We take care of my 84-year-old dad. I'm his guardian and conservator. We filled it up at Fixed Market. I enjoy those young men coming out and filling up our gas. It's something that we don't get in other communities here. But I use the Gas Buddy app. That 11.5 gallons would have cost me another $8.03 more if I'd have drove to Lapeer and spent the gas drive to fill up my vehicle. That's $6 to $8 every week that she puts in her car because she doesn't go anywhere with her car. Times that by 52, that covers my property taxes increase for the year just by using the Gas Buddy app. When we started using that, we went to Florida, but that's a whole nother story. To find reasonable gas, price gas along the way. I think we need to find solutions to this. I'm for the increase. I'm at the other end of my life as well, where one day we're probably gonna live in Florida part of the time and back here. I don't want high taxes, but I do want the day that my kids walk into my house and go to sell my home, that the roads don't look like Mound Road down in the city. If anybody's been to Mound Road down in the city, they know what I mean. It looks like they used it for, the Air Force A-10s to go through and take out. But I feel we should be able to do that.
And we got to cut you off for the 3 minutes.
Yep, but I appreciate the time. I understand. I think that if it goes to a vote, I think y'all know what my vote goes.
Okay. Anybody else?
Can I add one thing?
Sure.
Bob Milne again. When I was young, I grew up in northern Canada in the summers. And we were in a very remote area. And the local people took care of their own roads. We didn't have a government. Well, we had a government in Canada, but we took care of our own roads. And the way they did it was this guy would own a bulldozer and that guy's got a backhoe, this guy's got a truck. They just, people would pitch in and grab and go and get the stuff and they'd put it down and they put it down good because they had to use it too. But that's probably contrary to anything possible that we can do in today's society. But then I'm just throwing this out because maybe that kind of situation should come back. I don't think I can say any more about it. Thank you for listening.
Go ahead, Ken.
All right, we've heard a contractor talk, and he said when you get into a road, there's gonna be change order after change order after change order. What you folks have to remember and realize is this stuff should have been fixed and taken care of and redone years ago when revenue sharing was up and everybody had lots of money to spend on projects. My question is, why do our roads still suck, and what happened to all the revenue sharing when the times were good? What was it spent on? Because it sure wasn't fixing the roads. And you heard him. It's going to be change order after change order. So are we really going to get our 22 miles worth of road fixed for $16 million? Or are we going to end up getting 5 special roads fixed where somebody lives for the $16 million? Think about it.
So I'm gonna, you got 2 more here, and this is the only double up we're gonna do, and then we're gonna continue on, or we'll be here all night. So, go ahead, sir.
The lady just said a minute ago that it was she got quoted $1 million per mile, right?
Yes.
You want 23 miles of road for $15 million. How's that math sound?
It works.
Okay.
It works.
Steve, and that's it. We're gonna, one person, then we're gonna move on.
So, like you, I think this is fabulous that we're all here today, right? We're all in the same boat together. We all are. These are all our roads. Even if you live on a dirt road, you got to get out to a paved road to get to fixed gas station, right? We all use those roads. I think that there's a misconception in America, in Michigan, about somebody else has to pay for this. Our master plan says we, the township, people, have to pay for our local roads. State doesn't have to pay. Federal government doesn't have to pay. We have to. It's on our shoulders. We've put together a nice package. I'd like you to look at the package. Everyone should look at the package. But the situation that we have here right now today is we have to ask our township board to please let it go to a vote. That we will vote this amongst ourselves as opposed to kill it. Because if we kill this right now, it's only going to cost us more money next year. And to your question, it's $1 million a road if they bring all their equipment in and pave one road. It's $550,000 a road if they come and do 27 miles a road. That's the difference. Just like going to Costco or going to the gas station. $4 for a quart of milk or $2 for a gallon. That's how this works. We've worked this plan out. It looks like a good plan. No one else has brought a plan that looks better than this. Yes, it's expensive. Roads are expensive. We'll have 15 years of good roads. We'll be able to make a fund after 5 or 6 years to begin to maintain our roads where they crack. We can chip and seal. But if we don't get it past the board, we're dead in the water. We're back to gravel roads. We're back to Reamer Road. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Go ahead, ma'am.
One more time. I know a bunch of us were here, we're talking about the fire department. The fire department, they're dividing up Marathon Road, like they're trying to figure it out. First responders. As a citizen, like I'm concerned. I don't want to wait for Lapeer County or Lapeer City to get to my house when Marathon is right there. So what is that all about? Yeah. Are you guys just gonna drop Marathon and I'm not waiting for Lapeer City? You're trying to put it up before they can. Like, so what is that? What is that bill about? Can you explain that to me?
No, we're not going to answer any questions. When we have our discussion later on, you'll hear everything then.
Okay.
But it will be brought up.
Yes. I want to know.
Okay, do we have any more public comments? Dave, go ahead.
Me too. Like to see this large crowd, but you know, there's a lot more people out there. My understanding of what you guys are going to be voting on tonight strictly is if to get the bond going. It's not an approval or a disapproval of, yes, the bond has been approved. It's us saying as the public, yeah, go ahead with it. It's not going to cost us anything at this point, my understanding. With that being said, instead of that panel up there deciding for all of us, we can say once that, if they approve it, we can turn it down and that's done. Then we look for other avenues. I've heard topics like, why don't we have a savings account, so to speak, set up, planning ahead, which should have been done years ago. Had we have had the money saved over the period of years, we could have easily taken care of this subdivision or that road. And still at the same time, I don't feel this township right now is working with a road commission. This is my personal opinion.
Oh, there you go.
I think we need to be working with the road commission more and looking more at grants that they have, asking questions. Where is this money that supposedly is for roads? Supposedly has been to the county, to the road commission. Why isn't the township getting it? Where is it? Oh yeah, here's your 300 and some odd thousand. Well, that's what we're going to give you. But why don't we get some of our own? Set up something where we are getting some of our own money put in with that. I think there's money out there. I used to write grants for the government and nonprofits. I've seen a lot of it. It's out there, believe me. But you got to search. You got to have that person that knows how to do it. And no, I'm not volunteering.
I got your number.
Okay, do we have any more public comment?
I want to say.
Okay, we're gonna close public comment and we'll move on to consent agenda. I need a motion to.
We already did.
So this is covered? Supervisory report. Okay, we'll move on to supervisory reports. So I got a phone call from the road commission yesterday. They redid Oregon Road at Maple Leaf Road maybe 2-3 years ago. We have one tube that's failed there. The road's already sinking. The cost to replace that one tube, they're estimating for the one tube is between $700,000 and $800,000. The road commission will match half of it. That leaves Oregon Township on the hook for between $350,000 and $400,000 to get that tube replaced, which is right before Maple Leaf Road where the creek is. This is a dilemma we're in. 4 years ago, our previous supervisor was here. She said 4 years ago, that price was half the price. The cost of everything is going up unbelievable. The longer we wait, you know, that's where we're at. So we're going to be on the hook to replace that culvert. We have $300,000 a year in our budget that we put towards the roads. That's going to take more than 1 year of our budget to do that. We can't do anything else with the other roads. I appreciate your guys' calmness. Everybody needs to voice their opinion, and I want to thank you for that. So that's all I have right now. We'll move on to Michelle.
Richard. So my ballots went out at the end of June, not that anybody really cares about that right now. Ballots have been coming back, and I have a few things that I need to read for correspondence that I had gotten regarding this issue. One of them is quite lengthy, so I'll try and speak up. Hopefully everybody can hear me, and I think we might need to invest in a microphone. This is from the law office of Mike Sharkey, which he does live in our township, and he sent this letter regarding the proposed road millage of 3.8994 for 15 years. Dear Oregon Township Board of Trustees, the poor condition of our roads in Oregon Township is quite evident. Not only are our roads damaging our vehicles, but they are also dangerous. On some stretches, there is more cold patch than asphalt, and you can't help but question, where does all the tax money go to fix the roads? We all understand the Oregon Township Board feels that it needs to do something besides listening to complaints all day about the lousy roads. But raising property taxes on Oregon Township residents is not the answer. First, it is important to understand that Oregon Township, like all the townships within Lapeer County, does not have jurisdiction over any of its roads. There are no township roads, only county roads. Nor does the township receive any direct funding from the state or federal government. Yet, MCL 224.212 requires county road commissions to keep all county roads within their jurisdiction in reasonable repair and reasonably safe and convenient for public travel. Unfortunately, Oregon Township and its citizens are without a legal remedy, as Michigan courts have decided that citizens, property owners, and local municipalities cannot sue to enforce MCL 224.21. Canton Township versus Wayne County Road Commission 141, Mich. Act 322, 1985. If anybody wants to see any of this, you can ask. Second, county road commissions do not have taxing authority. Since 1951, the operating funding for county roads comes to the Lapeer County Road Commission from the state through the Michigan Transportation Fund. The revenue source for the Michigan Transportation Fund is from fuel taxes and vehicle registration fees, license plates. The funds collected for roads are shared with the Michigan Department of Transportation, counties, cities, and villages, but not townships. Further, county road commissions are responsible for 75% of the roads in the state of Michigan, yet county road commissions disproportionately only receive 39% of the total Michigan transportation funds. Third, when a county road commission fails to prioritize a specific township road for repairs, the township board feels it is left with the politically uninevitable position to either choose between living with deteriorating roads or raising property taxes to fund that much needed resurfacing or paving of the roads. But raising property taxes on Oregon Township residents is not the answer. Paying twice. Residents already pay state gas tax and vehicle registration fees meant for fixing the damn roads. An additional property tax places financial strain on fixed income families and property owners who are already burdened by rising living costs. There's no direct authority. Townships have no direct authority over local county roads, making it all the more frustrating for both the township and the taxpayers when they feel they have no control over any road improvement project, the project timelines, or quality. Township's funding of local road repairs will likely result in the County Road Commission allocating its limited funds elsewhere in the county. If the township covers needed repair costs, in effect, this lets the County Road Commission off the hook for the much needed township road repairs. They'll spend whatever monies received from the Michigan Transportation Fund elsewhere. Furthermore, raising property taxes now is premature and does not make sense until we at least see what revenue will be generated with the new state gas tax that will be implemented in 2026. As part of the state's new fiscal budget, lawmakers increased an existing 31 cents per gallon tax to 52 cents. Accordingly, more than $1.8 billion per year in new revenue will be earmarked into state and local roads, growing to nearly $2 billion annually by 2030. This tax was included in the Comprehensive Road Funding Tax Act with the Michigan legislature passed in September of 25, and the governor signed in October of 2025. Additional funding is tied to new 24% wholesale tax on marijuana that is expected to generate roughly $420 million a year for roads, as well as a chunk of corporate income tax revenue, up to $1 billion a year by 2030, will now be dedicated to roads. Also, local county road commissions and city, villages, street agencies are insured to get $500 million a year redirected from the SOAR Economic Development Fund into a new neighborhood roads fund. Lastly, this proposed township millage could result in no additional township road improvements unless the county road commission gives a guaranteed commitment to Oregon Township that our added money from such millage would be used in addition to the monies received from the Michigan Transportation Fund earmarked for Oregon Township, but such a guarantee is very, very unlikely to happen. Thank you for your attention in this. Whew. I got more.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So are we gonna do the 3-minute roll? Hopefully Mike's the long-winded
I'm
one.
not a public comment.
No, okay.
Timothy Godden is maybe his last name. He lives on Ross Drive in Columbiaville. I am against the proposal for an additional millage because it is not the appropriate action and is not sensible. The roads are the responsibility of the Lapeer County Road Commission, not the township. The assessment you are looking for exceeds the entire assessment we currently pay all of the county services. The township's responsibility is to work with the county and influence them to maintain our roads properly. Your proposal raises a lot of questions which you should address during your presentation. Do you plan to work with the County Road Commission or independent? Independent raises so many questions, I'm not even going down that path. If you're working with the Road Commission, they already have many roads in the township that are identified as failing their assessment. We should have the Road Commission in here to discuss their timeline for these roads. If your priorities are different than the Road Commission, I hope you will inform us of the differences. If your list has the same priorities, you should explain how the money you will receive will change the priorities that the county will work on. Thank you, Tim Godden, Prospect. Yeah. I need to bring you something else. My name is Todd Harris, 3582 Ross Drive, Columbiaville. Unfortunately, I'm unable to speak in person at tonight's meeting. Please pass my thoughts on to the board regarding the possibility of a new road millage proposal for Oregon Township residents. My understanding is federal, state, and county roads are maintained by corresponding entities, and the townships are not responsible for road maintenance. However, our township already has opted to assist the Lapeer County Road Commission to some degree by giving funds for this purpose. I'm adamantly opposed to putting an additional millage on the ballot to assist Lapeer County Road Commission with road maintenance for the next 15 years. The millage would cost me over $16,000 over that time period. I do not feel it is my responsibility to help another government entity with their budget in which taxes have already been paid. It is their responsibility to manage their funds and budget appropriately. I have to wonder if one of our board members is rubbing elbows with the road commission. I would like our board to continue focusing on projects and responsibilities that are laid out within their own charter rather than assessing Oregon Township property owners a tax to aid another government agency assigned with that responsibility. My knowledge of the internal workings of local government is limited and will humbly allow myself to be corrected if I am mistaken. Thank you, Todd Harris. And last one, this is about the change of the fire departments from, she doesn't have her name, but I think it's Judy.
I have Judy on here, it says Judy.
Yeah, but it doesn't hurt. Oh, Evelyn Harvey. We are senior citizens in Oregon Township, live on Bittersweet Drive. We want to express our opinion on the change of fire departments from Marathon to Lapeer. The response time from Lapeer to our area would jeopardize our safety and most of all Oregon Township residents. We have saw that people's lives have been saved because of the first responders. Homes have been saved because of the Marathon Township Fire Department. Please consider our opinion when you decide whether or not to change these departments. Thank you, Evelyn Harvey. Thank you for listening. I'm done. With that,
Cheryl, you're next.
Okay, so, on a lighter note, the summer tax bill went out in yellow. Yes, that was done on purpose to get everybody's attention. Summer bill. The winter tax bill will go out in blue, again, to get everybody's attention. Then the reminder bills that people usually pay on time, but it slipped their mind, I'm gonna be sending those out in white. Also at the front entrance, as you enter the meeting tonight, is the June treasurer's report and the last quarterly report, if you wanted that. I do have a few things to say about our discussion about the bond. As a township treasurer, I have a fiduciary duty to exercise sound financial stewardship and to raise concerns about decisions that could place the township funds at risk. My responsibility to help ensure that the public funds are managed prudently and in the best interest of the township and its residents. A general obligation bond is backed by the full faith and credit of this township and depends on a stable, reliable source of revenue to ensure that payment. Based on the information currently available, I have several concerns. The first is the proposed bond millage rely on revenue generated from the property tax. However, those same property tax revenues are currently the subject of proposals that could reduce or eliminate portions of the property tax base. That would be exactly what our previous treasurer that was here very early in the meeting spoke about in the elections of the government. If property tax revenues are reduced or eliminated, it is unknown whether the state would provide replacement funding, how much funding would be provided, or when those funds would become available. Without a dependable replacement revenue source, the township could face challenges in generating sufficient revenue to meet its bond payment obligations. Again, Cheryl mentioned we would go bankrupt. 4, regardless of any future changes to the property tax funding, the township remains legally obligated to repay the bond. Those payments must be made under the terms of the bond agreement. 5, the uncertainty surrounding the future of property tax revenues, combined with the unknown amount and timing of any potential state replacement funding, creates financial uncertainty. At this time, there is no definitive information regarding the level of replacement funding, if any would be provided, or whether it would be sufficient to the support of the township's long-term financial obligations. In addition, several categories of property tax are already exempt from paying property taxes in our township, including veterans exemptions, poverty exemptions, county-owned properties, and we have Genesee and Lapeer County properties in our township. Church-owned properties, Camp Leal, it's Christian camp, and school properties. Additionally to that, legislation has been introduced in the Michigan legislation that would expand property tax exemptions for certain senior citizens. While this is currently a legislative proposal, rather than a statewide ballot measure, if enacted, it could further reduce the township's taxable property base and the property tax revenue available to fund township services and meet long-term financial obligations. Given these uncertainties, it is important that the township fully evaluate the long-term financial impact of issuing debt that relies on property tax revenues before assuming additional financial obligations. I heard a lot of talk in the public comment about the people. I would like to remind us a little bit about our history as well. The United States was founded on a system of representative government, with delegates representing the interests of the respective states, rather than governing through the direct national votes on every issue. The founders believed that elected representatives entrusted by the people would be better positioned to study issues. Township boards operate under the same representative principle, although on a much smaller scale, a local scale. Residents elect board members to represent the community, evaluate proposals, and make decisions to serve the township's best interest. There was mention of road reports. I have not seen any of those road reports. I have not seen any details on how this exactly would be done. I would tell you, this would put the township in great jeopardy in a financial manner, and all of our residents. I do not approve of this.
Okay, I didn't know we were doing that now, I was gonna save mine for when we discuss it.
Well, that's what I, yeah, you can read it now, it's all fun.
Okay, so there's a couple of things that have probably been pointed out, but I'm just gonna say it again. Before discussing the proposed bond, I think it's important to understand the role of the township regarding roads. Under Michigan law, County Road Commission are responsible for the maintenance, repair, and snow removal of public roads within the townships. Townships do not own the roads and do not receive direct state road funding for their maintenance. While townships may choose to contribute local funds to improve roads beyond what the County Road Commission provides, those contributions are voluntary, not a legal obligation. My responsibility as a township board member is to protect the long-term financial interests of Oregon Township and its taxpayers. A $16 million bond is substantial financial commitment that carries a significant risk. Once approved, this debt cannot simply be undone if costs increase or priorities change. Congresswoman Lisa McClain's office has indicated there may be opportunities for grants, which sounds great if our projects are shovel ready. However, we also have to recognize that these opportunities are not guaranteed. Congresswoman McClain is on the ballot this November, and we do not know who will represent this district after the election or what future federal funding priorities will be. Changes in elected leadership, congressional appropriations, or grant programs can affect what funding is available. That uncertainty is another reason I believe we should avoid committing taxpayers to a $16 million bond until we have fully explored every available funding opportunity. We also have to consider the impact of future homeowners and property values. Higher taxes can influence where families choose to live and invest. As an example, my own 3-bedroom ranch, if I sold it, would add over $1,000 per year in taxes for this road millage alone. That is a considerable annual expense before any other property taxes are paid. I worry that this level of taxation could discourage people from purchasing homes in Oregon Township or make it more difficult for current residents to remain here. It is important to recognize that this is the first and only millage option that has been presented to the Township Board for consideration. Due to the timing and limited opportunity for public education, residents have not had adequate time to fully understand what this millage would mean, including the long-term financial commitment, the roads that would be covered, and the potential impact on their property taxes. Before asking residents to make a decision of this magnitude, the township should take the time to thoroughly evaluate other options, including solutions that may be less expensive and carry less financial risk for township residents. A decision of this size deserves careful consideration, transparency, and a complete understanding of all available alternatives. And now, I'm done.
Okay. So I'm just gonna answer some of you guys' questions that you've answered. Somebody asked about a county millage versus the one that I'm talking about. Like Terry said, the county one, you would be assessed the same, whether it's 3.9 million or mills for ours or theirs. With ours, 100% of that money is gonna go to Oregon Township. Terry, correct me if I'm wrong, the county one, if that passed countywide, how much money would Oregon Township per se get?
I wouldn't know that number, but I mean.
We wouldn't get 100% though.
No.
Okay.
No, you wouldn't get everything that you guys paid.
It was
too energetic.
But you could even get more.
Yeah, okay.
Could get more.
Yep.
It's too much in such a short period of time. I'm sorry that I gotta
and
say
that's
it.
fine. So with that, that's all I got. I was just gonna answer some of the questions. So now we'll move on to the assessor's report. For the month of March, there was 14 deeds were quoted and 0 splits. That's June, okay. I'm sorry, that was the June report. and one combination split approved.
Yeah. Are you doing anything particular?
We'll move
Can you
on to the
bring
fire
a small
department.
tank of
City of Lapeer
oxygen
submitted a
in the
report
rinse
of the
like
month
Jared?
of June with 5 responses for Oregon Township. Marathon Area Fire Authority submitted a report. 5 Oregon runs and 2 first responders.
All right, thank you.
Construction Code Authority, for the month of June, there was 5 permits and 7 permits finalized. Wayne, do you have a change for us?
Yeah, May was 157 riders and June was 200.
Okay, move on to Lapeer County EMS. There was 52 EMS, 0 MedStar. ZBA meeting was canceled for the July meeting canceled. Steve, you want to do the planning commission being you're here?
Sure. No.
Okay, it was canceled, it's on here, so, cemetery?
Wait.
So, go ahead, you're the planning commission, so.
They don't have a spot on our thing. This is just to state whether they met or not.
I think we should.
Well, you don't. You would have to discuss that, not at this time.
But you guys had your opportunity to give your opinions, and what I'm gonna give is township business.
It's not your board meeting.
According to our master plan.
It's not your board meeting.
What are?
It's not your board meeting.
Fine.
Okay, cemetery?
We didn't have anything, right? We didn't have anything.
Okay, move on to unfinished business. I don't have any. New business, I need a motion to approve joint meeting date and time set for PCA, ZBA, and the Township Board.
We need to discuss it. No, we
Okay,
didn't
so we have a
know.
discussion.
I need to know, do you guys wanna do it separately? I was thinking maybe, I don't know how much stuff we're gonna have to talk about. I don't know if we should do it before, and it needs to be in either, it needs to be before December 31st, so I'm thinking either in October or November.
I think that'd be available in October.
So let's look at November. Do you guys wanna do it around the time of our November board meeting and do it at 5 or at 7 that night? Or do you wanna do it on that Wednesday?
What do they do?
We've done all, it depends on if Wayne's yelling at me about it or not.
We always did.
Wednesday, so you wanna do Wednesday at 6 after a board meeting, that,
Yeah.
does that work for? No? That
I
doesn't work?
can't do 6. Sorry.
And Wednesday you can't, so, let's see, so November, well, and that day is Veterans Day. So we probably shouldn't do that day,
You wanna
November,
do it after the meeting, that's fine.
or what about, or the 12th,
We
or the
can do
9th?
that, we can do it after the meeting.
You guys wanna do it after? Can you do it after?
That's fine. After, I don't think you wanna do it before.
Okay. We're just discussing when we can get together to do our
We'd like
joint.
to hear it too.
What's that?
We'd like to hear what you're saying up there.
We're trying to figure out a date that works for all of us to do our joint meeting. So our joint meeting is a November 10th at 7?
November 7th, okay.
Okay. November 7th.
At 7, after board meeting.
November 10th at 7, right?
Yeah, November 10th at 7 o'clock. This is the joint meeting it's a mandatory thing that has to be done. It's between the planning commission, the ZBA, and the township board, just to make sure everybody's on the same page with what's going on in the groups.
Okay, I need a motion to approve the joint meeting to be November 10th at 7 p.m.
So moved. Support.
Osip,
Yes.
Place,
Yes.
Barber,
Yes.
Clemens, VanBelle.
Yes.
Is that an open forum meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I need a motion to accept the resignation of Gary Ryan on the planning commission board member.
So moved.
Second it.
VanBelle,
Yes.
Place,
Yes.
Osip,
I don't really want to say yes, but yes.
Barber,
Yes.
Clemens,
Yes. Need a motion to approve Matt Place appointment to the planning commission.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Place.
I'm going to abstain.
Barber.
Yes.
Clemens.
Yes.
Osip.
Yes.
VanBelle.
Yes.
Okay, we'll move on. I need
Discuss it.
okay.
Better that.
So we'll move on to the next one. As you guys have, there's a letter. We're in negotiations with Oregon Township. This is just a letter I propose to send to them. You guys have any? You guys have any changes on it? Are you good with the way it is?
I read it and reviewed it. The only change I had, second page above all the monies over time, should that be 2.5% annual increase?
It is a 2.5.
It just says 2.5.
You got the letter, I'll tell you when.
And leave the consent sign in there.
Just the percent sign.
This might not be it. This is, hold on.
He's just saying this should have the percent sign.
Oh, okay.
But I would certainly make a motion to approve that as to approve that as amended.
Then we'll have to get signatures again if I gotta paint that picture.
Okay, so you made the motion?
Yes.
Okay, I'll second it.
Clemens.
Yes.
Place.
Yes.
Barber.
Yes.
VanBelle.
Yes.
Osip.
Yes.
Okay, we'll move on to the next one. The Marathon Township had a substantial price increase. We have this letter you guys just approved to send. We're on a short notice. We got from now until our next meeting. If they don't, we can't negotiate to come up to a term. I think we should get some bids from the other local fire departments to see a backup plan. So I just need a motion to approve authorization to solicit additional bids and proposals from neighboring communities for fire protection service options.
Oh, yeah. There isn't there.
Have a second? I'll second it.
Osip.
Yes.
Clemens.
Yes.
VanBelle.
Yes.
Place.
Yes.
Barber.
No.
Okay, we'll move on to the last one. Do we have a motion to approve placing a $16 million bond proposal on the ballot for November 2026 election for the reconstruction of the local paved roads and subdivision roads, including up to $250,000 bond insurance and attorney not to exceed 3.89 mils for 15 years?
I will make that motion.
I'll second it.
VanBelle.
Yes.
Clemens.
Yes.
Osip.
No.
Barber.
No.
Place.
No.
Okay, we'll move on to public comment. Do we have any? Go ahead, ma'am.
Karen D. Arnellis, 3746 Marathon. I want to talk about a couple things briefly about the fire protection issue and a concern that I have. I don't know if everybody knows this or not, but your insurance on your home, covers it. A lot of that is driven by where your fire service comes from and how far it is from your home. And it could be a significant change in what your coverages are, or you could even be dropped by your insurance, potentially. I don't know if, obviously, everybody lives in different spots. Where I live, there are no fire hydrants, but I'm within 5 miles of Columbiaville, and therefore can really benefit from that relative to the protection of my home. I'm not certain about who has fire hydrants near them, etc., but I'm very concerned about potentially moving to the city of Lapeer. I would be concerned about response time. What happens if they're busy? Does our house we just fry with it, or what? You know, some of those kinds of questions. So I'm deeply concerned about that. Okay, I had some other little notes here. I don't know if I can find them that fast, but no, I don't see that. Yes, okay. So that's basically what I wanted to say about that. The other thing I did want to make a comment on, I brought in some flyers for the senior millage that's on the ballot, and I know there's been a lot of what I think is misinformation about some things that was passed around on Facebook. So I just wanted to share a little info. Some of it's on there. There's still a few flyers there if you take a look at it. If the millage does not pass, the senior services are going to be gone. They're just basically going to be done. There's a lot of people that rely on that, and a lot of people in our communities. So I'm hoping that people will think about that. The millage covers 69% of the program's funding, and they get 31% from grants and donations, so it's going to collapse. And I think it's an important service for our senior citizens that need it. If you are interested or you're wondering about it, right now on a $100,000 taxable value home, it's like $39.16. There is a slight increase that's been put in for it because guess what? Expenses have gone up. It costs more to take care of our seniors and to deliver things to them. So it's going to go to $45.78. So that's $45.78 if your house is taxable at $100,000. If anybody has any questions, I can try to answer on that. I'm not personally directly involved, but I'm concerned about it, and so I've done some seeking of information. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any more public comment? Go ahead. In the back there.
Yes, I'm here on behalf of our fire department. My address is Columbiaville, Michigan, therefore I honestly believe that I should stick with Columbiaville Fire. When I first moved out here, we were Elba, and then like 5 years in, we were changed to Columbiaville. Now, if we take in logistics, Lapeer Fire Department is 9.9 miles away from me. They cannot get to my house with a fire truck, not a personal vehicle, to put out a fire in less than 18 minutes. Now, Columbiaville Fire can normally get here in about 13. So saving a home and saving a life is very important to this community. Now, if we lose Columbiaville Fire, we also stand to lose Marathon First Responders. I, for one, have used them. And I'm sure a lot of you in here have used them. Can we, as a community, afford to lose them? I don't think so. And I think if you choose to go with Lapeer Fire, you're making a major mistake. Another thing is, I don't think Lapeer Fire wants to come out here. I don't think they want to take on another community. Thank you.
Yes.
I'll back her up. I've had, I hate to say it, 2 or 3 fires, so you guys know. Yeah, it's always Marathon Township that gets us because we're close. If I waited for a single beer,
25 minutes.
it's about 25. They would have saved my basement. Like, we can't afford to lose our community, small firefighters. We need Marathon Township. We need the small guys. I know I hate to say it, they're probably expensive. We need them. They've saved us too many times. I'm a farmer. They've saved my barn. We've saved it. So I'm just we need them.
Thank you. Ken, go ahead.
I've been coming to these meetings. My first township meeting was when I was 16 years old. The township sent a deputy to escort me over here for a special meeting. Now, Miss Ryan O'Neill, she's known me a lot of years, and the running joke in this hall was that I have missed less meetings than some of the political people. You folks had better start coming in here and keeping track of what's going on. I have watched tonight, Miss Place was shushed and a hand held up to her when she raised issue with what was going on out here. I was at the last year-end budget meeting, folks. I was it. And I watched this stuff be discussed about this bond. And Miss Place did the math and was running numbers, and it was to the point it got so tense that the statement was made, I'm done. I'm closing the meeting, I'm going home. Miss Michelle had to grab someone and say, wait a minute, there's still 3 things on the agenda that need to be taken care of. You folks better start watching what's going on. You don't always get what you pay for, but you're gonna pay for what you got.
Go ahead, Steve.
So, one, I agree with a lot of things you're saying. We need more public input. We need all of us to make decisions collectively the way we're supposed to in a democratic society. That was stopped today by the board. They have their own reasons for stopping it.
It's not the
I'm not happy to the fact that I'm the chairman of the planning commission. We commissioned a committee to look into the roads. We spent hours on this. We talked to Kevin Daly. We talked to Lisa McLean's people. We've talked to pavers. We've talked to the county. We've done a diligent job, put together a nice package that I wasn't able to give to you people tonight. Very disappointed. But I'm not going anywhere. So, again, I just feel
I'd like to
we've,
say for the record, I never even saw the packet. And I think as a board member, I should have seen the packet. I did not even see it. So,
Why didn't you?
I have no idea.
Whose responsibility is it to get it to you?
The people that were working on it.
And how are we as the public supposed to believe what's being told to us in a meeting of pass this, pass this, pass this, if all the board hasn't seen all the numbers that exist?
Okay, any more public? Go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about the Marathon Area Fire Authority again. I just wanted to, I did hear you guys talk about numbers a little bit in our contract price. I want to give you some numbers, food for thought for all residents and board members. We've had a contract with Oregon Township for 19 years, and in those 19 years, this will be the 6th increase that we're proposing in our contract price. Marathon Township has a special assessment for our section of the fire authority, and in 28 years, we've only had 5 increases within those 28 years of our special assessment. I tell you that because the new contract that was proposed to this board does talk about future raises in the contract only being when Marathon Township has to raise their special assessment, because we only raise our costs when we need to cover the cost of the fire department. As you talked about earlier today, you're seeing things double. The road work, the cross tubes are double than what they were 4 years ago. We had the exact same thing happen to us with our insurance. Our insurance company gave us our renewal this is for the fire department, and it was double than it was the year before. So we had to pay it that year. We got our ducks in a row and shopped it around, got a new insurance company, and was able to save probably about 20% on top of that, or from that doubling. I'd also like to say that we cover, including the top half of Oregon Township, we cover about 36 square miles. And Lapeer, I know that's one of the departments that you might be looking at. They cover 100 square miles. Our residents, including yours, we cover 4,467 residents, and they cover right from their website approximately 24,000 residents. Right on 4th of July, we had a very bad accident, an ATV accident here in your township. our first responders were in Otter Lake at our first 4th of July festivities, and they made it to that accident and stabilized 5 critically injured children, unfortunately, before EMS got there. I think it's in the best interest of this township to seriously consider renewing the contract rather than going with someone else. Our department's reputation speaks for itself. We have a wonderful department. Like I said, our own fire chief has been on the department for 50 years. And I think it's, I've got, hopefully every board member up there has the packet that I sent over along with the contract on July 1st. It's got a lot of good information in there with all of these numbers, and including the entire contract that we're proposing. After the negotiations, our board did approve a phased up increase. So where we need to be at the 107, we're phasing it up and doing half of it the first year, half of it the second year, and then it would just follow the special assessment only if increases are needed. We're here to serve the community, just like you are. Thank you.
Sure, go ahead.
More of a question. If you're spending more than $300,000 for this one culvert that was just put in a few years ago?
No, it was not put in. It didn't get done. They had a bid on it, and it was half the price.
Okay, I thought it had just been put in.
No, it was not done. They paved over it being.
Okay, that's the only question.
Okay. Any more? I seen some hands. Go ahead, ma'am.
Just kind of an update from what I was thinking before. The comments I had about the road commission and the way they fill the potholes, the end of the conversation led me to believe, since Gabe was absolutely against changing the way they do it, you know, throwing the asphalt in there, and he admitted that it was a big waste of money. It said to me that when he was crying and complaining about we don't have any money, look how much money they're wasting, and put that all over the county, that they're wasting every time just to have the guys come back every 2 weeks and do the same thing. That was probably the reason we're out of money. And if you're going to pay more taxes to do good work, how's that guarantee they're going to change the way they do the road? They're still going to be wasting the money. That needs to be addressed at the road commission. And I would really love to talk to you afterwards too. I really appreciate everything you just said for the road, or the fire, because that's another reason why I came tonight, because we live on Mount Morris Road, and it is, thank you. But after the board just did what they did, we're completely in the dark. You just boom, 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 didn't even explain it. Didn't even tell us what they came with and what you're negotiating back with. You should have just read the information you gave us, paid with them, so that we know what's going on. How do we know what you're negotiating with them, and we can have some input, because we don't know what's going on. I really appreciate everything you said, for sure. Thanks.
Go ahead, sir, you back.
What's the percentage? How much does the fire department want to raise?
So I don't have the figures in front of me. Roughly, it was a 35% increase this time.
That's pretty
I
big.
have the numbers in front of me.
So let me just finish, ma'am. Since '07, they started at 25,000. It's 429% increase to get to 107,000. So you guys all get assessed $45 per parcel for fire assessment. City of Lapeer's portion cost the township $50. Marathon's part costs the township $103. So $65 is coming out of our budget just to cover it. The offsets increased. The city of Lapeer in 5 years went up 13%. Their 5 years was 65%.
Okay.
Go ahead, sir.
I just want to say, cheaper isn't always better. Lapeer is also funded by 2.5 townships plus the city. We're only funded by 1.5 townships. And like Lori said, fire equipment is not cheap. It's gone up every year.
Okay. Go ahead from back there.
Chief Aaron Baker from Columbiaville. I'm going to give you some real quick statistics. In the Michigan State, in the training council for firefighters, they train that structure fire doubles in about every 30 seconds. So if you take these folks that live on Mount Morris Road on the east end of it, I went down to Mount Morris and Clam. Lapeer City is 13 minutes, 9 miles. Columbiaville is 5 minutes, 2.7 miles. Now, if you do the math, the house is going to double at least 4 times in that time, if not more. Now, do you have that? Does all you people have that much time if your house is on fire?
No.
What you need to do is, everybody here, take your address, put in Lapeer City Fire Department, and see the distance in the miles. Take Columbiaville's address and your address and see the difference, and then figure every 30 seconds that fire is going to go from 1 foot to 2 to 4 to 8. It's going to continue to double until your whole house is engulfed. And a lot of times you don't have that much time. So it's something to think about.
You're not only talking homes, you're talking lives.
Yes.
Go ahead, ma'am.
My name is Amy Smith. I live on Piles Road, and we can attest to the fire department. Last year we had a farm fire, and our structure is still intact with their help. There is absolutely no way with Lapeer fire that structure would still be standing. We are 22 minutes away from the Lapeer fire station and 5 minutes away from Columbiaville. It's ridiculous that this is even being an option that we're talking about. Safety should be the township's #1 priority, and you're missing out right now.
Thank you. Go ahead, ma'am.
I would just like to add that it's not always about saving money or finding the cheapest way to get something done. This is obviously something that's of real high value to many people here. And so I think it's important. And, you know, crunching numbers is great. Looking at options is fine. But there's other things to be weighed there other than just the cost of this. And, and I don't know how many municipalities Lapeer supports. I believe they've got at least one, maybe another township. And then as that continues to blossom, where do we end up? How do we get services? So I just wanted to kind of add that in. I understand what you're saying about costs, but that's not what everything is all about.
Thank you. Go ahead, sir.
I'm Smith Marion, I'm on Front River Road. You mentioned something, we were on a crunched timeline in dealing with this situation. What are you talking about here? We're gonna lose Marathon immediately?
No, the contract expires at the end of
August 31st.
August, yes. Not, maybe I misspoke when I said crunch time. The contract's coming, so we have one more board meeting to figure out what we're gonna do, is all I stated there. Go ahead, ma'am.
Karen Bershako, I just wanted a very different topic. Mention that I learned that earlier this year, this board had a special meeting that like nobody knew about, not even people who come to your meetings, and you voted to purchase property and you voted to split it within that meeting. That is a very big deal to do that kind of thing, and I just want to encourage you not to use special meetings to do that kind of thing. And if you have to set a special meeting, give more time, notify people better, because that's a big purchase. That's these folks' taxpayer money here. Thank you.
Any more public comment? Go ahead in the back.
Yeah, my name's Rick English. I live on Mount Morris Road. I want to add on to what Chief Aaron was saying here. That 30 seconds is a big deal. Now, you got to also consider this, that our ISO ratings and stuff are based on where the department's at. And you got to realize the further away that fire department is, your insurance is going to go up. All right, so that's another thing you need to consider on that. All right. Another thing I wanna say is my neighbor's house caught fire, okay? Columbiaville was there and knocked that fire down and saved that house before Lapeer City even made it on scene. Okay? Now, when they say that they got a guy on scene in like 2 minutes, that's a personal vehicle. What are they gonna do? They have no apparatus, they got no means of extinguishing anything. So keep that in mind as well. Because they say that a lot. They get there on time, they get there fastest. Not with the equipment, they don't.
But I'd like to play the devil's advocate. We heard people say the roads aren't a big deal because they're not gonna fix my road, right? So Oregon Township is split in half. So would the people that are being serviced now by Marathon Township, would they be willing to pay for it? The difference between Lapeer and the Marathon?
Absolutely.
We already do.
And that I think would,
And
everyone would be
there
happy.
isn't much of a difference.
It's
There's not.
103 versus $50. So everybody's paying $45. The city of Lapeer, when you take their contract and divide it out by 1,880 parcels, comes to $50. If you take your 107,000 and divide it by your 1,045 parcels that you do, comes to $103.
Your contract price with the Lapeer is in the $95,000 range.
At 95, you divide that by 1,880, comes to $50.
Right, but I'm saying the contract prices is what we're looking at. The contract prices are not that far apart. And your contract with Lapeer is up in 2 years. So you don't know what they're gonna do in 2 years.
Correct, but the difference is, City of Lapeer covers 1,880 parcels. You guys cover 1,045. I'm not here to argue, I'm just stating the facts. The board has to decide what, everything's getting brought up. We're not saying we're switching, we're not saying we're covering all of our bases, so we have our facts.
We cover 15 sections of your 36.
Go ahead, Doug.
So the way I'm understanding it, that's not apples to apples. You're talking population density is lower there, so you're making it look like there's
parcel number.
Right, parcel number. So population density, parcel numbers kind of converts to the same thing.
When we do our special assessment, our money coming in is per parcel. So you take $45 that everybody pays times the number of parcels, that's where I'm coming up with my numbers. There again, it's just a number that I'm putting on the table for the board to take in. There again, no decisions have been
Their
made.
contract is for the lower half, and however many parcels, you're dividing it by a whole lot more parcels in the lower half of the township than you are for the part that they're covering.
So I don't understand. So Marathon, at their end of their, next year, the way they proposed it, I'm gonna use a round numbers, 107,000. They
96.
Pardon me?
96.
At the end of your 2 years is 107. That's the number I have in my head.
You said next year.
Yeah, so I have that number in my head. So at the 107, they cover 1,045 parcels. You divide that out, let me finish, is $103 is what Oregon Township pays for that contract. We take in $45. City of Lapeer's contract's $95. They cover 1,880 parcels. You divide that out and it comes to $50. So it's $5 per parcel that comes out of our budget for City of Lapeer. Marathon's, I'm drawing a blank, but around $65 out of our budget. I just have to, in my spot, I have to present it to the board to know where we stand.
So if I presented it the other way, the southern half, I'm just asking,
No,
the southern half of the township, how much are they charging in Lapeer?
95,000.
And she's at 96 for the northern half? That's about the same. Yeah, there's more parcels down there.
But you have to do the parcel to see where we stand on our budget. That's money income and money going out.
The parcels are larger on the northern, so they've got a lower number of parcels. But
Right.
over for the whole township.
What you divide it.
Whole township. Lower half, northern half.
Size wise, it's the same, but on a tax revenue, we go by parcels, and that's the
We
number.
don't have two separate budgets. We have the northern isn't a separate, you put it all
Correct, it's
together.
one budget.
Northern, southern, and they're both about $96,000.
And that's why we're negotiating with them, and nothing
Okay, I
is
understand
cast
that.
in stone.
It's just that the numbers were presented a little bit.
Anybody that would like the information, I have a copy.
Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, Mike Harris, I live on Tone Road over here. I spent 25 years on Columbiaville Fire. And in the past, I don't have the update, I'm retired now, but you gotta look at the city of Lapeer's response times, how they use their trucks. They used to have trucks that were city water only, and the old trucks that were removed from their city water only were used for the rural drafting and stuff. We had a fire here in Oregon Township, but they made all of the trucks to feed their lead pumper go all the way to Lapeer West High School to get water in the wintertime, not Flint River, not Bronson Lake, but Lapeer West High School, turned it into an ice rink all the way from Lapeer West High School to the fire just around the corner here. They will not put, in the past, I don't know about current, drafted water through their city trucks. So the service you're getting from the city of Lapeer, you better look at the whole picture of it and how they're quoting you. You're not using their new trucks, you're using their old trucks. And where they're going to be going to get water to help your service. Columbiaville Fire, we'll take your swimming pool, we'll take your pond, we'll take everything and run it through any truck they have to save your house. And when you're talking parcels, well, yeah, the south half has all them itty-bitty cabin sites around Pleasant Lake and all them down there. They're itty-bitty parcels and old cabins wedged together. So yeah, you're getting a partial volume, but the square mile is a square mile covered, whether it's a grass fire here or a little tiny parcel there. The square mile of coverage for whatever kind of fire it is square miles of coverage. And we got all that park property and everything else that we get covered. Where you're hiking your butts in there with little water cans to squirt on it because you can't get into that park property properly.
Go ahead, Ben.
Okay, I'm gonna put it in perspective with the city fire department. They are chumming for business from everybody they can at this point. Now, a couple of years ago, across Coldwater Road from me on Tomahawk Drive, a buddy's house was on fire. I hobbled over to make sure everybody got out okay. The fire department, in all their wisdom, was sending a tanker truck clear down by Seton School to tap into a fire hydrant. I had to grab one of the duty officers and point out that 150 feet down the road was a fire hydrant in the corner of my property. When we put in dry hydrants in the township, there's one on Bronson Lake, there's one up by Kaprowski's, there's several what they call dry hydrants so they can pump lake water. City did a run and couldn't hook into the dry hydrants to fill tanks because they didn't have the right size couplers on the trucks. Think about it.
Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
My name's Allison Smith. I'm the chairman of the Marathon Area Fire Authority. I just want to give some numbers so the residents understand what's happening here. We offer 40 on-call paid firefighters. If you go to Lapeer from their own website, they have 25 paid on-call firefighters. Medical first responders, we have 7 certified responders included in our cost. If you go with City Fire, you will have none. We have 2 stations. They have 1 station. We have three fire engines. They have 3 fire engines. We have 2 water tankers. They have 1. We have 2 rescue trucks. They have 1. Gas fire trucks, we have 2. They have 1. Hydraulic rescue, which is the jaws of life, our department has 2 complete sets. City of Lapeer has 1. So it's a food for thought, what you're actually getting by going to the city of Lapeer. Our cost increase is exactly what our residents in Marathon Township pay. There is no reason as anybody as a resident to not pay what we pay to cover for our fire department and everybody else that's involved. That's all I have to say.
Okay, I'm just gonna answer you as a taxpayer.
Yep.
Your residents own your fire trucks, correct? So if you guys ever sold out,
no,
Oregon Township has 0 interest in your guys' fire trucks.
Not correct.
So now as a supervisor, tell me what our percentage of our ownership is in your fire truck.
We have an authority, Marathon Area Fire Authority.
Is Oregon Township part of that in ownership of your trucks?
What part of Lapeer City do you own then?
0, and that's why.
So anyways,
So there again,
100% benefit from our equipment. 100% benefit from our equipment.
we own ours. We are purchasing a brand new fire truck. They're not cheap. They're over $1 million now. Just a food for thought.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any more public comment? Okay, we move on to board comment. I just want to thank everybody for their input tonight, being civil. We had a good meeting. Other than that, anybody else?
I have a few comments. I'd like to say, Steve, if you want to be on the board, I think it's something that we need to discuss so that it's on our agenda and you would sit up here. Same as if the ZBA wants to. I think that would be a good thing to discuss at our special joint meeting in November. I'd also like to say that by me saying yes to get the other options, by no means that I'm in favor of any of these other options. I have no intentions of getting rid of Marathon Fire Authority. It is not in my radar. But I'm just one vote. I also would like to say that the special meeting that we had for the purchasing of that property, it was posted within 24 hours by law, which is how I'm supposed to post it. It was brought to us because there was a deed restriction that we needed to act on it before the purchase of that property because somebody else was waiting to buy it. And Oregon Township was listed that they had first dibs on it if we wanted it. So it was something that we needed to decide before our next board meeting. Therefore, it was posted well in advance. I can't help it that nobody saw it. It was posted on the website, it was on the door, and it was decided that we were going to split it because it was something we were going to sell, so that the second piece of the part that we were selling was going to put money towards the part that was going to be for the cemetery future project later when the other cemetery is filled up. And we do now have a purchase agreement that has been signed and has been sent to the title company as of yesterday. But they sent me back another one that they need a different one signed, so I have to get the signatures of the people that need to sign that, and it's for $170,000. And that's all I have.
Yeah. So the letter that we approved to send to you guys, I'm hopeful that we can negotiate more, and like Michelle, I have no intention either of getting rid of Marathon. I want to find out how we can work better and maybe lower the cost. And I'm sure that once you receive our letter, it'll stimulate more talk.
Yeah, this is not the planning commission meeting, this is our Oregon Township Board meeting, and Mr. Sears did speak more than 5 times. He mentioned that he had sub-road committee reports that he wanted to share. Those reports were not shared with the board, and we need to see those, and they need to be included in our packet in advance for us to go over. So that's really all I have to say about that.
Wayne?
I'm good, she said enough.
Okay. With that.
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
Thanks for coming.
Hold on a second, I'll be back.
Thanks for coming.